Elena sat in her favorite cafe in Prague, sipping her espresso and flipping through her leather-bound notebook filled with podcast ideas. The cafe was tucked away in a quiet corner of Old Town, with ivy crawling up its stone walls and the dye's scent of cinnamon pastries floating through the air. It had become her creative sanctuary, a place where language, culture, and caffeine intertwined. Today was a big day. After years of formal schooling, late-night study sessions, language exchange meetups, and online language immersion, she was launching her very own English learning podcast. Her accent had softened over the years, her vocabulary was vast, and she knew idioms that even some native speakers fumbled. But she was about to learn that no matter how advanced a learner you are, English always has its tricks up its sleeve. Her journey, recorded in snippets through her podcast episodes, would soon become a story of humility, self-reflection, and the realization that mistakes aren't just stepping stones, they're the entire path. Mistake 1. One of the book is missing. Episode 1. Her voice was calm and assured. One of the book is missing from the shelf, she said, describing a funny incident in a local library. But later that evening, an email came from George in the UK, a loyal listener. Did you mean one of the books? Elena stared at the screen. How had she missed that? She knew the rule. One of the must be followed by a plural noun. She remembered her grammar teacher drilling it in years ago. Yet in casual speech, she had slipped. That small correction echoed in her mind, not as a mistake, but as a reminder. Attention to detail matters. Mistake 2. I suggest you to watch this movie. The second episode was themed around movie recommendations. Elena gushed about The Imitation Game, saying, I suggest you to watch it. Later, during a walk across the Charles Bridge, she checked her messages. Loved the episode, one listener wrote. Just a tip, it's I suggest you watch, not you to watch. Elena chuckled at herself. Of course, she had fallen into a common trap. Unlike many other verbs, suggest and recommend don't take the infinitive with to. She made a mental note and decided to record a follow-up explaining the correction, turning her own mistake into a teaching moment. Mistake. 3 confusing say and tell. A week later, she narrated a funny story from her childhood. He said he would come. It wasn't long before Instagram language pages started sharing the clip with playful captions. She cringed, but only briefly. In her next episode, she laughed about it with her audience. He told me, not said me. Remember, say doesn't take a direct object. This time she illustrated the rule with dialogues, making the difference memorable. Her humility made her even more relatable to her followers. Mistake 4. Article anomalies in a travel vlog recorded in the Slovak mountains. She described her brother's work. He is engineer. The views were stunning, the audio crisp, but comments rolled in. You need an article, one said. He is an engineer. Articles, a and the, were among the first things she'd learned, but under the pressure of speaking naturally, they could vanish without warning. Elena decided to dedicate an entire episode to articles, rules, exceptions, and plenty of real-life usage. Mistake 5. Preposition. Pitfalls. During an Instagram live Q&A, a follower asked, "What are you good at?" Elena replied enthusiastically, "I am good in languages." Almost immediately the chat lit up. Good at, not in. Prepositions, so simple, so chaotic. She could recite dozens of them, but prepositions often defy logic. Why interested in but good at? She took it in stride and turned it into a series, Prepositions That Drive Us Crazy. The audience loved it, and many confessed they were making the same errors. Mistake 6. Adverb. Overload storytelling was Elena's strength. But in a dramatic tale about missing a bus, she said, "He ran very quickly, extremely fast." One subscriber commented with a laughing emoji, "So, he broke the sound barrier." That night she revised the episode. "He sprinted," she said with a smile. Strong verbs often beat stacked adverbs. That was her new mantra. Be vivid. Be concise. Mistake 7. Plural. Puzzle while reading a listener's email, Elena accidentally said she has 3 childs. Her eyes widened immediately. "Oh no, that's children," she exclaimed, then burst into laughter. Irregular plurals were sneaky. She made a game out of it on her blog. Guess the irregular plural, goose, man, tooth. Her community grew as learners from around the world joined in to test their skills. Mistake 8. Too much versus very much. A sweet message came during a live stream. "Elena, your videos are amazing." She beamed and replied, "Thank you. I like your comment too much. Oops." She caught the look on her guest's face and realized her mistake. In English, too much implies something negative. The right phrase? "I like it very much." She explained the nuance in a follow-up post and used humorous examples. "I love coffee too much. I'm shaking." Versus, "I love coffee very much. It's my morning fuel." Mistake 9. Married with versus married. To interviewing a fellow polyglot, Elena casually mentioned, "She's married with a musician." Her guest chuckled. "Unless you mean they have children together, I think you mean married to." That segment went viral. The preposition with implies accompaniment, not a relationship. Bond. Married to is the correct form. She turned the clip into a mini lesson and received hundreds of grateful messages. Mistake 10. Question word order. Wrapping up an episode, Elena asked, "You are coming to next week's live stream?" The inbox explosion followed within minutes. Love. You, but are you coming? Word order in questions is a pillar of English grammar, auxiliary plus subject plus main verb. She turned her mistake into a teachable blooper and ended the week with a hilarious skit comparing English word order to other languages. Conclusion. Learning is a lifelong journey. Elena compiled all 10 mistakes into a special episode titled, "The 10 Mistakes Even Advanced Learners Make." It became her most downloaded show yet. She closed it with warmth. Language isn't about perfection. It's about connection, curiosity, and courage. If you're making mistakes, it means you're growing. And if I, a teacher and learner, still make them, so can you. The response was overwhelming. Comments flooded in from Brazil to Bangladesh, all saying the same thing. Thank you for making mistakes visible. And somewhere in Prague, over another espresso and under the glow of string lights, Elena began scripting her next episode. English mistakes that even native speakers make. Because in language, no one is ever truly done learning.